Hi, Blue Raiders. We mentioned that we'd like to talk about matrix multiplication, said that matrices are kind of useful objects in doing mathematical investigations, and there's a way to multiply two matrices together. So that's what this video is going to be about, just showing you the process that we use to multiply two matrices together. And we'll keep it simple, just do 2 by 2 matrices, small ones. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. And let's first take a look at a 2 by 2 matrix times a 2 by 2 matrix. And in this process, it'll be important for us to keep track of which row we're on. So this is a row. So we have 2 rows. And then our columns go this way. So that's the first column, that's the second column. So when you multiply a 2 by 2 matrix times a 2 by 2 matrix, the answer is a 2 by 2 matrix. So we'll have 4 numbers that we need to figure out. I'll just put question marks here for all of them. And so if we want to figure out this number in the first row, first column of the answer, we use the first row of the first matrix and the first column of the second matrix to figure that out. And we will multiply numbers together and add numbers together in order to get this answer. So it's kind of a little tricky, but once you get used to it, it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun pattern. So let's start. Again, we said here, first row, first column. So we'll use the first row of the first matrix and the first column of the second matrix to get the answer. And here's how we do it. We'll take this 3 times this 2. So we'll have 3 times 2. And then we'll add to that. Again, we're going to move in this first row to the second position. And we'll move in this first column of the second matrix to the second position. So we've got the 3 times the 2 plus, now we move to this 2 times the 4. And that's it. Figure out what that answer is. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 4 is 8. So 6 plus 8 is 14. So that is the number that goes here, 14. And that process might seem a little weird, but we're gonna go through that process 3 more times to find the answers in these other 3 locations for the answer to this matrix multiplication problem, and you'll start to get a sense for the feel of the pattern and how we move. Okay. So let's take a look at this location of the answer. This is the first row and the second column of the answer. First row, second column. So what we'll use is the first row of the first matrix and the second column of the second matrix. So that means we'll start with this 3 and this 5. It's kind of the first position of the first row and the first position of the second column. So it's going to be 3 times 5 plus, and then again, we'll move in this direction to the second position. So that's a 2, and we'll move in this direction to the second position on the column. That takes us to 6. So we've got 3 times 5 plus 2 times 6. Again, the movement here, this direction in the first matrix, this direction in the second matrix. So that takes us to 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 times 6 is 12. So that's what, 27? And that is the number that goes in that position. So we can erase this. 27. All right, great. Well, let's move on to the second row. So here's the second row of the answer. So this question mark, the number that goes here, we will use the second row. It's in the second row and the first column. So we'll use the second row of the first matrix and the first column of the second matrix, since this is in second row, first column of the answer. Second row, first column. So that means we'll use 4 times 2 plus, and then again, we move to the 5 times the 4. So 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 4 is 20. So that gets us to 28. And finally, this position, it's the second row, second column. So second row of the first matrix, second column of the second matrix. So we'll have 4 times 5, and then we'll move in this direction and this direction to get 5 times 6. So 4 times 5 plus, and we'll move here, 5 times 6. And it's this 5 times this 6. So that gets us 20 plus 30, so that's 50. So that is the answer that we get. That's the 2 by 2 matrix that we get as our answer for multiplying this matrix times this matrix. Let's try a little bit more difficult one because we'll throw in some negative signs and use some negative numbers. Let's look at this next. What if we have these two matrices? So again, we'll go through the exact same process, and I'll go a little bit quicker this time. Same kind of deal. It'll be a 2 by 2 matrix. So let's figure out what number goes in this location. First row, first column. So we'll use the first row of the first matrix, first column of the second matrix. So that means -1 times 3. And then we move to here. So we'll have 3 times -3. 3 times -3. So that is -1 times 3 is -3 plus 3 times -3 is -9. That's -10. So that's the number that goes here. Now let's try this location. It's first row, second column. So we'll use first row, second column, first row, second column. So that's going to be -1 times 4 plus, and then we'll move here, 3 times 2. 3 times 2. -1 times 4 is -4, plus 3 times 2 is 6. So that gives us a +2. And that was when we were thinking about this location. So it's a +2. Again, because that was first row, second column. That's where this location is. First row, second column. So we'll use these two numbers and these two numbers. Okay, let's move to the second column here, figure out what goes in this location. So this is first row, I'm sorry, second row, first column. So we will use this second row, first column. All right, great. So we'll have 5 times 3 plus, and we'll move here, -2 times -3. So that's 5 times 2 is 15. -2 times -3 is a positive number. So that's a +6. So 15 plus 6 is 21. And then finally, we'll move to this location. Here we've got second row, second column. So again, we'll use the second row here and this second column. Great, second row, second column. So we'll have 5 times 4 plus, we'll move here, -2 times, we'll move here, 2. That equals 20 plus -2 times 2 is a -4. So that takes us to 16. And that is our answer matrix. So hopefully this was helpful to give you a sense of how to multiply two matrices together and how we move and operate to find the numbers that go in the proper locations of the answer matrix. All right, have fun practicing this, and we'll catch you next time.